Hi, my name is Nancy Love, and I live in Los Angeles, the City of Angels. On January the 15th, 2004, I wrote a positive vision for the future. It's a simple and beautiful poem entitled Planet Peace, and it may actually help change the world, because I also have a dream. You may ask, how can poetry change the world? Please remember that John Fitzgerald Kennedy said in 1956, "If more politicians knew poetry and more poets knew politics, I am convinced the world would be a better place to live." Thank you, JFK, for that and so much else. Planet Peace. There will come a time on this extraordinary world when this complex species called humankind will live together in harmony and peace. We will stand together and lift up with one voice a song of gratitude for this wondrous planet and our place on it. People of all races, religions, and creeds will experience a sense of belonging to a global community. We will still be diverse, but within those differences, we will see a beauty and purpose. And beyond those differences, we will see a commonality and a willingness to cooperate for the greater good. The day I wrote Planet Peace, I asked myself, how can these words, however beautiful, go out into the world and help create the reality they describe? Out of that question, the idea for the Planet Peace Project was born. The Planet Peace Project, or P3 as I call it, includes education, mediation, advocacy, and celebration. I'll tell you more about those components in a minute. I'd also like to tour the planet, taking photographs of people holding hands along the various beaches of the world. This, incidentally, because I'm a great animal advocate, will include multi-species. If anybody wants to bring their dogs, horses, ferrets, parrots, whatever, because I'm all about getting things right with the animals as well. So I'd like to have a multi-species photo shoot of individuals holding hands along the beaches of the world. And then, when the tour is done, I would take these photographs and stitch them together in one long line so that it looks like everyone is standing on one beach. Because people, ultimately, we are. I would also like to tour children's art. Kids who draw and paint and sculpt things that celebrate the planet, celebrate the environment, and our need and desire to protect the environment. Kids who are animal advocates and so forth. I really would like to tour peaceful planetary art and show children that their art can go around the world and make the whole planet a better and more beautiful place. Please keep in mind that a lot of my intellectual and creative development has been inspired by Gene Roddenberry, the creator of Star Trek. He was such a visionary. He imagined a world in which we all actually got along. And he also created a planet in which we had eliminated poverty, we had eliminated global war. We were actually working together, regardless of where we were from or what we looked like, to make the world a better place and to explore the galaxy. And what really got to me was that Gene could imagine our species not only getting along with itself, but getting along with members of other species from other planets and so forth. I thought, well, if he imagines that we could do that, if he imagines that humans could get along with Ferengi and Vulcans and Klingon and so forth, then certainly we should be able to get along with one another. So thank you, Gene Roddenberry. The great bird of the galaxy still flies. I wrote something that was inspired by Gene, and here it goes. Only those who believe in the possibility of an enlightened and egalitarian future are equipped to help create it. Only those who believe in the possibility of an enlightened and egalitarian future are equipped to help create it? Are you equipped to help create a better future? Do you believe in the possibility of it? Can we inspire you to believe in the possibility of a better future so that you will be more equipped to help create it? Then come on board the peace train, because you're right on time. I would like to define peace so broadly that it includes the idea that humanity needs to enter into a more benign relationship with the planet itself and the other species thereupon. We need to make peace not only with one another, but with the ground that sustains us, the water we drink, and the air we breathe. We must begin to define peace so broadly so that conceptually it includes a more beneficial and less torturous relationship with the members of other tribes, of other religions and cultures, and other species of life on this planet. And we need to do that now. Consider this. When I was 16, my science mentor, well aware of my interest in both science and the arts and humanities, asked me if I would rather win a Pulitzer Prize or a Nobel Prize. After thinking for a moment, I replied, both. He laughed, but I said, I was actually serious. I said it would be such a privilege and such an honor to earn both. It would be such a fantastic thing to do, to contribute so wonderfully that you actually deserve both Pulitzer and a Nobel. But then he asked me, so when he realized I wasn't just being greedy, he said, okay, if you could win the Nobel Prize of your choice, what would it be for? Great works of literature or some great scientific advancement? I considered his question so seriously that I asked him to let me think about it overnight. After much soul-searching and intellectualizing about the state of the world, the young woman who had grown up in an age of nuclear proliferation had this as an answer the next morning. I replied, peace. I would want a Nobel Prize for peace. For even if we wrote the most wonderful books and had all the greatest scientific advances possible, if we in our rampant ignorance blow up the world with our weapons, we will destroy all life everywhere on the planet. The most significant thing we need to achieve right now, and the context from which all other achievements can be made, is a state of global and sustainable peace. About the components for the Planet Peace Project. The primary reason I want an educational and academic outreach program featured in the birth of this program, the Planet Peace Project, is because many of us were not trained to achieve and maintain peaceful personhood. We say we want world peace, but shake our fists at strangers who cut us off in traffic. We say we love animals and our earthly home, but contribute to the demise of entire species and the world's rainforests through our mindless habits of consumption. We say we think nations should get along while looking away when confronted with gang activity, child abuse, and domestic violence in our neighborhoods. Peace is an inside job. It must be a local, viable, personal commodity before it can be a global reality. Microeducation in skills such as conflict management and negotiation can pave the way for a peaceful planet and for peaceful people. There will also be an ombudsman arm to Planet Peace if we're called upon to negotiate or create diplomatic relations between opposing factions in some conflict-ridden area of the world. The organization will rise to that calling. I'd like to send mediators instead of bombs. What a concept. Planet Peace representatives might even become diplomatic ambassadors for the United Nations one day. I certainly hope so. As far as advocacy goes, I would like to encourage volunteerism, and there will be training programs for people who want to expand their volunteering skills. P3 will support existing organizations that are in need of acute need of volunteers and so forth. For example, if the ASPCA locally needed help with an animal rescue, we would, I'd like to think that Planet Peace volunteers would come running. And we would call it Team Planet Peace. And I hope that you will be a member of Team Planet Peace. The celebration aspect. I'd like to throw a world party. We could have a worldwide Planet Peace Festival program dedicated to achieving peace and brotherhood between all people. Organizations that work towards civil rights and social justice, fighting hunger and ending poverty, preserving the planet's resources, fighting global warming, perpetuating sustainable green building techniques, fostering animal rescue organizations, operations, and humane treatment of other species. All will have displays and presentations to help publicize their efforts, increase donations, and recruit volunteers. We'll have art, music. I'd like to have a film festival. We'll have dance, theater productions. It would be a world party. And the festivals will unite artists in all media, visual artists, the musicians, dancers, poets, dramatists, filmmakers, with the efforts of pro-planet, pro-peace organizations that will participate in the festivals and disseminate information there, recruiting new members for their causes as well. The Planet Peace Festivals will unite the art that celebrates all life and the beauty of this earth with the science and political activism that may help save it. This whole grand planetary effort is becoming a reality because one person wrote one visionary poem and because other people believe in the beauty and integrity of the vision described therein. If we are living our lives correctly, our lives transcend our individuality and become about passion and genius, love and good work well done. Our work can transcend the individual, the past, the present. Our work is for the future. It would appear the future needs us, indeed. Coretta Scott King, Martin Luther King's wife, once said, "There is a spirit and a need and a person at the beginning of every great human advance. Every one of these must be right for that particular moment of history, and nothing happens. Are you one of the people who is right for this particular moment in history? Because, folks, we need something to happen. We need to do it now." This is from an essay I wrote called "The Day Dignity Changed the World," about how Rosa Parks, a quiet, courageous leader, created something noble out of a thought, a decision, a commitment in her mind. And the concepts therein applied beautifully to the Planet Peace Project. Here is a statement from that essay. "Remember that social evolution begins in the minds of individuals who have the courage to think brave thoughts. Remember that changes in the vast social arena begin with changes in the private hearts and minds of women and men who want a new and better world." Here's a quote from my website, www.nancylove.net. I have a photography and oil paintings and a professional writing statement there. "We are not only visitors on this earth, here to take and use and exhaust its resources. We are the guardians, the caretakers of this magnificent planet, and we have a sacred responsibility to preserve and replenish its resources, even as we appreciate and cherish its incredible beauty." Planet Peace will address many of the most pressing, urgent, and challenging considerations of our time, but we'll do it in a way that encourages action over despair, optimism over hopelessness. We will not be overwhelmed by the immensity of the task, but we will instead be solution-oriented and action-ready. So you are invited to a world party, and I want people to come away from this invitation wanting to give the entire world, starting with their own lives and challenges, a complete home makeover. For peace between nations begins with cooperation between individuals. As many ambassadors and diplomats will tell us, peace is not something out there for others to achieve. It is something each of us is responsible for creating within our own lives. Planet Peace will support not only thoughtful consideration and discussion of the contemporary issues involved in our mutual efforts toward a better world, but will also support real, concrete actions toward the achievement of those goals. Within a few days, weeks, and months of its inception, thanks primarily to the power of the World Wide Web and what I call the power of love in all creation, I hope to hear from all around the world. I am a team member of Planet Peace Project, and I live the change I hope to see. I am a team member of the Planet Peace Project, and I live the change I hope to see. So you see, one night I wrote a meditation, and that civil act is evolving into a global organization and celebration of those who work toward achieving peace. I want Planet Peace to accomplish something truly grand and noble, and have it go out into the world to help actually achieve a positive vision that it describes. I will quote Native American Orin Lyons of the Onondaga tribe. In our way of life, in our government, with every decision we make, we always keep in mind the seventh generation to come. It's our job to see that the people coming ahead, the generations still unborn, have a world no worse than ours, and hopefully better. The Planet Peace Project will attend to the fate of our glorious planet Earth and to our moral obligation to the seventh generation. Behold the Planet Peace Credo. May we rise to the call of our duty, not only to our countries, but also to our world. May we work successfully to preserve our natural environment and the delicate balance in our ecosystem. May we endeavor to achieve peace and cooperation among the tribes that would remain at war. May we one day call this precious pearl by its more true and rightful name, Planet Peace. Folks, sometimes one must accept a destiny and the calling of a higher order when thinking of the future. For our choices define not only our own lives, but our generation. When you join the Planet Peace Project, you are accepting a destiny that will yield the full measure of your talent and your genius. Do it to know true fulfillment. Do it to help save the world. I'm Nancy Love. I'm talking to you from the City of Angels. I would like your help and your support right now to launch this great dream of a great heart. Because like Martin Luther King, and quite possibly like you, I also have a dream. Join me. Be a team member.